Hey, welcome back to Dogtography. Today I thought we'd change things up a bit and photograph with architecture and Asher, my dog. So it's still winter here in Canada. It's kind of dull, it's boring, it's green and brown, nothing really exciting. So I thought we'd take advantage of some of the really cool architecture here in London, Ontario. We're at the university campus. This is King's College we're going to start at today. And I'm going to show you some of my special compositional techniques. Namely, framing and leading lines is what we're going to use. And all you need to get started to do this is your long line, your cell phone, some yummy treats for your dog, and your dog. All right, let's go get started. Hi, I'm Andrea Fleury, and welcome to Dogtography. My channel is all about how to take better images of your dog and how to create some really super fun memories. I walk you through different tips and tutorials and techniques. I sometimes show you behind the scenes of my professional career as a dog photographer, all while just trying to have some fun and enjoy time with our dogs. So first, before we get started, I just want to talk about long lines for a second. So a long line, this is, I think, maybe a 20-foot line. You don't need anything that long, but the reason why I use one is because Asher's stay, especially when surrounded by other dogs or people or distractions, is not always the best. And I like to kind of have something on him so that I know he's just not going to run away. But you might want to try bringing something like this with you just so that you have it. It also, the one that I have here is black and it's pretty thin, so it's not really distracting. It's not like a bright fluorescent color, which I don't like to have in my photos anyway. And if you do decide in the end that you'd like to edit the leashes out of the images, this kind of allows you some really easy flexibility with just taking it out in Lightroom at the end. And then, yeah, but if your dog starts to not stay where he's supposed to, you can always put your foot on it and just kind of shorten it up as you want to, as you go through the shoot. So the first shot that I'm going to line up here is one where I get the whole building in my frame, but with my dog or the subject of the photo to be the most predominant thing in the shot. So I want him to be really big and the building to be a little smaller, but the full size of it in the background. So it'll be kind of faded out in the back. So I'm going to line him up first. Okay. Yes. Sit. Good. Stay. Stay. Good boy. So I'm lining this up so that I can see like the big tall part of the building is off to the side. Asher, look at me. Yay, good boy, catch it. So I can tell that the building is a little off to the side and he's kind of on the left of that. That's kind of compositionally where I think it looks the best, so that you can see still the most beautiful part of the building and you can still see your dog off to the side. So I think that that is probably a great shot, a nice wide shot, but I can't wait to get closer up to this building. So let's go up there next. So here we're out in front of King's College, and I'm going to try using a technique called framing. I'm going to be doing this a lot because it really makes sense to use this technique with architecture, but this is a perfect example. I'm going to use this big, beautiful door in the background to frame around Asher. So I'm going to try and position him, or position myself, at a point where the door is essentially behind him, causing a frame. I'm also going to try to get in the whole length of the building in my shot. And I'm going to try and do this horizontally and maybe vertically. We'll just see how that goes. I'm going to be using the wide angle setting on my camera. If your camera does not have the 0.5 wide angle lens, you might not be able to recreate it in exactly the same way I'm going to now, but you get the idea, and you can still use framing as a way to go ahead and get that shot. So I'm going to line Asher up now and see where we can go from there. Okay. So I'm going to try putting him right here on the curb. Up you go. Sit. I'm going to try and center him within the door. Now, if he's not perfectly centered, I can always move me or where the camera is to make sure he's centered. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. Stay. So I'm already on my wide angle lens. I'm gonna come down and now move this side to side to get him, there it is, Usher, framed within the door. Ready? And catch it. Okay, so with that one, sorry, I messed up your treat. I wasn't mindful enough to get the top of the building in, so we're gonna do it again. Excuse me, sir, out of it. And I'm gonna try to tilt my camera so that I'm still getting him, but try to see if I can get the top of the building in at the same time. Okay, up. Yes, sit, stay. And this requires getting pretty low to the ground. Usher, who's a good boy? And I'm just kind of banging off shots here because I can't really see my screen. And I can't see if he's framed, but I can tell that I've got the top of the building in. Look at me, ready, catch it. Good boy. And I think that that's got it. So you can always kind of go back through and see, yeah, I mean, they're not too bad. They're kind of crooked. Oh, I really like that one. So that's a really nice shot there. The framing is not necessarily perfect, but I like the position of his body. I like that you can see the top of the building. And I actually really like that he's not looking right at me. I really like this one, it's perfect. So what I want to do with this shot is get this big, beautiful door framed up in the background from a nice wide angle, but a really deep shot. So I'm going to put him right on the edge of this step and crouch down again pretty low to shoot up at an angle like this to kind of get all of this like awesome detail in the door in the background. And yeah, we'll just see what he does. We'll see if we can do some shots with him looking at me or looking away. There's lots of distractions in the background, so you never know. Okay, up. Okay, sit. I'm trying to center him in the door. Yeah, stay. And we'll see. And then again, I won't know until I get down and shoot an angle up, holding the treat where he can see it. Good boy. Ready? Ready, Asher? Catch it. Good boy. Okay, and then you can just have a look because I kind of can't see what I'm doing with half of those. And the goal really I had here, yeah, is to get in the top of the door, to make sure you're not cutting your dog's feet off, you've got their head in, and a nice expression is optimal. Perfect, I think we got it. So one thing I just thought of while we're here is we're gonna take a selfie shot. So I'm just gonna use my phone. I have a little kickstand on the back of my phone case here, so I'm just gonna set it down on the step. I've set it on a 10-second timer, so that gives me time to kind of get away from the camera, pose in front of the door. I don't know if I'm gonna get him to be able to look at the camera or not, or maybe it'll just be a fun shot of him and I together, but I think it's kind of a cute moment to capture while we're here. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna throw a treat for him that way so he doesn't get in the way of my phone. And then I'm gonna center the door as best as I can with me in front of it. Try to find some level ground. Go get it, find it. Okay, hit my timer. Come back, come here. Locations. I found kind of like a tunnel with some railings and some cool lights and stuff on the wall. I'm going to use the compositional technique called leading lines to kind of lead up into the frame to where I'm going to position Asher. So I'm going to get him into position and then I'll show you a bit more about what I'm talking about and what I'm kind of looking for in the frame. You ready? Okay, come on. Okay, so I'm going to take a horizontal or a vertical shot. I'm going to come down nice and low. Now I'm looking for these railings to lead up to him. So you can already see without him, I saw he broke, stay. So these lines lead up like this. These lines are leading down and these lines are coming across to point to him in about this section here, about under that light. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, back up. No, no. Down here, up, stay. So I'm going to get down low. And I'm gonna, hey, look at me, ready, ready, catch it. He tries. He tries. Good job, Asher. This location has these railings kind of pointing up, these lines kind of from the building coming down. So I'm going to use them as leading lines. I'm going to still use framing of him within the door, but I'm using the leading lines to kind of go up the stairs and point up towards him. So where I position him has to be kind of specific so that you kind of still get the effect of the leading lines, and you'll see in a second what I mean. Okay, up here. Okay, up here. Whoa. Look at me. So you can see the railings coming up these sides like this. The part of the building is coming down like that. So it's all working nicely. He's framed within the door. This is exactly what I want. Ready, Asher, and catch it. Perfect. I think the other, yeah, you can see right away that the other spot that we did with him was much better, lower down. So you can hardly see him here. He's like disappeared into the background. The leading lines are not pointing straight at him directly. They're there, but they're not having the same effect as this image here, where he's closer and he's more predominant in the frame. I think this kind of achieves more of what I was going for and what I'm looking for with a framing and leading line technique anyway. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson about how to take pictures of your dog with architecture using some different compositional techniques. Most important thing, as always, is just to have fun and make some memories with your dog. Get out there with your camera, enjoy, and I will see you again next Saturday. Right, Asher? Bye for now.